We've been around for 5 years. There are about 700 members, and I would say over half of those are very active. Some people are so active that they use time bank services many times a week. In our time bank, you don't exchange one-on-one with another person. If I would help you in stacking woods for 2 hours, I would have 2 time banking credits, and then I could look to any of our other 700 members and get a service for those 2 hours, for those 2 credits. I would say that there's currently probably 1,000 services right now. Cooking, massage, alterations, rides are definitely a big service. Aromatherapy, flower essences, taking your recycling to the dumpster, artwork, bookcases, weatherization, tarot card reading, bike repair. If you need iPhone tutoring, someone can sit with you and help you with that.
This is something I started doing maybe 6 months ago, offering to help people with set up their computers and set up their email, things like that. It sounded really boring, like, oh, you're going to set up an email account. I mean, this is something I've done 100 times. It's not it. But what makes it exciting is the other person. The other person's a real human being, and you have this connection with them, and then it's very full, very enriching kind of experience. So even if you live in a small community like Montpelier, it can be very isolating if you're strictly, going to the grocery store. And, if you're just using the regular economy, it can be things can be very isolating, especially if you start, buying things on the internet. Then you really don't even see anybody.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I'm learning to play piano, and one of the members of the time bank is really well-known piano player. Like that.
The parallel.
So you wouldn't use the pinky. Oh.
So you could use the pinky on the C, and then I've been partially blind for a long time through an eye disease, and I'm not able to drive, and it's difficult to do public transportation in a time-efficient way, particularly for food shopping. You go down this list and you think you can't do anything, you don't have any, quote, expertise, and then you realize there are plenty of people that, whatever reason, they can do A, B, C, D, and E, but they can't do F, G, H, I, and J, and you might easily be able to do that. I need help with people reading out loud to me, tons and tons of people do that, and tons of people enjoy doing that.
I needed services that I could no longer pay for. And that's housekeeping and shoveling snow, help in the garden in the summertime. I've also used my hours for some frivolous things like a massage, facial, decadent chocolate cakes. In turn, have built up my hours by tabling, and that's really public relations work for Onion River Exchange. And I go to the farmers markets and to our local cooperative grocery and set up a table on Saturdays and talk to people about Onion River Exchange and give out brochures and have them sign up for our free newsletter. Most people don't want a table. Most people don't want to talk to the public. But that is something I know I can do, and I do it well.
Exchanging time for time.
Through the time bank, I offer workshops on how to make herbal medicines, menstrual health, sexual health. Someone will look through the listings, and if it's something they're interested in, they show up to my workshop and they just let me know that they're a member of the time bank, and later on I record that they came, and I get an hour-and-a-half credit. So they may have earned that from knitting something for someone, making a cake, driving someone to the airport, and then I get that time that I can use for whatever I want.
I think that's the beauty of the time bank, is that you can find this wide variety of people and skills. One member who got married a year ago, and his entire wedding was through the time bank. The dress was made, the location where they got married, the food, the flowers, the minister, the music, all was through the time bank.
A lot of people that I've talked to are interested in the time bank and feel the same way. It's a time commitment. And I explain, no, you can just post what you love to do and people will get in touch with you, or you don't even have to post anything. You just look and see what's offered, what needs there are in the community, and you're like, oh, I can do that. Then it's really, you're not signing up for, you know, hours and hours per month or per week of time. It's totally optional. This way of sharing what we have, especially when everyone gets to do what they love to do, as I think we're really used to, oh, we have to do something we don't want to do and go and work for someone else in order to get money, in order to pay the rent, in order to, you know, buy our food. It's difficult to remind myself that it's okay to accept hours from people, even if it's something I love doing, because I'm used to having to go do something I don't want to do.
Well, I think people are less and less satisfied with sort of normal life. I think that that's just the state that we're in, you know, that people do feel that something's missing. And I think you hear that all the time, you know, and that people will be drawn to the time bank by their own, you know, kind of sense of life being somewhat empty and sterile. You know, life is about fixing things. Life is about moving from discomfort to comfort. But it could be that your discomfort is the most valuable thing that you have, because it's a question. It's opening things up. It's allowing you to see in a different way.
It's the right thing to do to build community and connection with one another in these troubled times, and they are troubled. I think because it's been lacking, it seems to have been lacking for so many years, that more and more people are aware of how important community is. As soon as we became so mobile, we didn't need each other as much. And now it's being recognized that we do, and we depend on each other